Mastering social confidence, overcoming anxiety in social settings. In this video, we're going to explore a crucial skill that every man should master: how to deal with anxiety and stay calm and confident in social settings. Whether you're walking into a room full of strangers, trying to make an impression at a networking event, or simply navigating the complexities of daily social interactions, anxiety can hold you back. And I know this firsthand because I've been there. I've spent years overcoming my own social anxiety, and in this video, I'll be sharing the exact techniques I've learned along the way to not just manage, but conquer anxiety in these situations. If you've ever felt nervous, self-conscious, or unsure of yourself in social environments, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through practical tools that you can start using right away. And stay with me until the end, because I'll be revealing the #1 secret that helped me transform my approach to anxiety and develop true confidence in social settings. Let's dive in. Before we talk about solutions, we need to understand what's going on when anxiety strikes. Social anxiety doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's rooted in a fear response. At its core, anxiety is a fear of judgment or rejection from others. It's a survival mechanism that's hardwired into all of us. Our brains are constantly scanning for potential threats, and social interactions can feel like threats, especially when you're unsure of how you'll be received. For many young men, social anxiety can feel overwhelming because of the pressure to perform in social situations. Whether it's meeting new people, attending parties, or even approaching someone you're interested in, the fear of not being good enough, of messing up, or being judged can paralyze you. And I'll tell you, I've been there myself. I remember the first time I had to speak at a big event. The thought of standing in front of a crowd made my stomach turn. My palms were sweaty and my heart raced. But I learned quickly that the way I approached the situation mattered more than the fear itself. The first step in dealing with anxiety is reframing the way you think about it. Rather than viewing anxiety as a weakness or something to be avoided, understand that anxiety is just a signal your body is sending to alert you to be aware and focused. In a way, anxiety can be your ally, helping you stay alert and present. Here's the trick. Instead of fighting the anxiety, you need to embrace it. Think about it like this. Every time you feel that nervous tension, it's a sign that you care about the outcome of the interaction. That's not a bad thing. The key is to learn how to channel that energy into something productive. Let's take a look at how I've used this myself. I've had multiple experiences where the anxiety was overwhelming, whether it was an important conversation or a high-pressure business situation. But rather than trying to hide my anxiety, I'd acknowledge it. I'd say to myself, okay, I'm feeling nervous because this matters to me. That's okay. I'm going to use this energy to stay focused and present. By acknowledging your anxiety, you take away its power to control you. This was a game changer for me, and I want you to remember this. It's not about eliminating anxiety. It's about learning how to control it. Now let's talk about some actionable steps. The first technique I want to teach you is breathing. It might sound simple, but when you're in the middle of an anxious moment, your breath can be your most powerful tool. One of the best breathing techniques for managing anxiety is called box breathing. It's simple but incredibly effective. Here's how it works. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 4 counts. Hold your breath again for 4 counts. Repeat this for about 1-2 minutes, and you'll notice that your heart rate begins to slow down, your thoughts become clearer, and your body relaxes. I've used this technique in countless situations, before speaking, before meetings, even before making a cold call for business. It works. The key is to focus all your attention on the breath, allowing the mind to focus on something simple and calming. You'll be amazed at how quickly your anxiety starts to melt away. This next technique is something I've used that has truly made a difference in my overall demeanor. Power posing is a concept developed by social psychologist Amy Cuddy, and it's based on the idea that your body language can affect how you feel. When you adopt confident, expansive postures, your body sends a signal to your brain that you are in control. Before entering any social situation, whether it's a meeting, a social event, or a date, I encourage you to practice power posing. Stand tall, shoulders back, chest out. Take up space. You can even stand in front of a mirror for a few minutes to mentally prepare yourself. What this does is, it shifts your mind into a more confident state. The physical posture influences your internal state, and over time, you'll begin to feel more comfortable and at ease in social situations. I've found this technique to be incredibly powerful when preparing for a high-stakes event, or even just walking into a crowded room. It's like flipping a switch in your mind that makes you feel more confident. Another key technique I use is visualization. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, "what you think you become," and that's the truth. When you visualize yourself succeeding in a social situation, whether it's acing a presentation, making a new friend, or having a smooth conversation, you're training your brain to perform that exact way when the time comes. Before any high-pressure social interaction, I sit down and mentally rehearse the situation. I picture myself walking in confidently, feeling relaxed, and engaging in a positive conversation. I run through every detail in my mind, imagining myself handling things smoothly, no matter what happens. By mentally preparing, I reduce the risk of being caught off guard and increase my self-assurance. I remember before my first big public speaking event, I spent weeks visualizing myself speaking in front of the audience, delivering my message clearly and staying composed. When the actual moment arrived, I felt like I had already experienced it, which made it much easier to handle. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools for reducing anxiety and increasing confidence. The next technique I want to share with you is gradual exposure. One of the biggest mistakes I made in overcoming social anxiety was thinking that I needed to completely avoid situations that made me nervous. But the truth is, the more you avoid social situations, the more you reinforce the anxiety. Instead, what you need to do is gradually expose yourself to the situations that cause anxiety. Start small. Maybe it's going to a social gathering for a short period of time or speaking up in a small group meeting. Over time, as you put yourself in these situations, you'll become more comfortable and less anxious. Personally, I used to avoid networking events because they made me anxious, but over time, I started attending smaller, less intimidating events. As my comfort level grew, I gradually moved on to larger events. The key is consistency. The more you expose yourself, the more your anxiety decreases. Now let's get to the number one secret that changed everything for me. This is the secret that, if you implement it, will help you overcome social anxiety for good. It's about focus. When we're anxious, we're often focused on ourselves, on how we look, how we're being judged, what others think of us. But the secret to overcoming this is to shift your focus. Instead of worrying about how you're perceived, focus entirely on the other person. Listen actively, ask thoughtful questions, show genuine interest in the conversation. When you're focused on the other person, the anxiety about yourself fades away. I'll be honest with you, this was a massive breakthrough for me. When I stopped focusing on how nervous I felt and started focusing on the person in front of me, my anxiety melted away. It's a technique I still use to this day, whether I'm in a professional setting or a social gathering. If you've stayed with me until now, you've learned some powerful techniques to deal with anxiety and become more confident in social settings. You've learned to reframe anxiety, use breathing techniques, power poses, visualization, and gradually expose yourself to social situations. And most importantly, you've learned how to shift your focus to the other person to eliminate the self-consciousness that drives anxiety. But this is just the beginning of your journey. If you want to take these tools further and truly start becoming the confident, high-value man you're meant to be, check out the links in the description below. There, you'll find access to ebooks, courses, and other resources from the Titan Toolbox to help you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Remember, this is all part of your path to becoming a true Titan. Stay consistent, apply these tools, and take action every day to develop the confidence and calm you deserve. See you in the next video.